Team, it's Ryan. You're watching Life at UpKeep, a video series about the people and teams within our company doing awesome, amazing work together. Through the eyes of our very own UpKeepers, you get a glimpse into our awesome company culture, our team's big wins, small wins, and everything in between. You'll learn a little bit more about how members of the team came to join and hopefully love UpKeep and so much more. Today, I'm super excited to chat with Chiou, our senior IT manager, who's sitting probably just about 2 offices down from me. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, Ryan. Doing well. How are you?
Again, the way that we always kick this podcast off is, have you share a little bit more about what your role is here at UpKeep and what some of your responsibilities are?
Yeah, definitely. So I am the senior IT manager here at UpKeep, and I basically handle everything and anything employee technology related. That can range from desktop support, application access, onboarding and offboarding from the IT side. And how I like to say, yeah, anything and everything technology goes.
All right, love it. And you and I were chatting right before this, but we're trying to roll out UpKeep to manage our internal IT assets, which is something I'm super bullish about, super excited about. And you're telling me that you use actually one of our competitors' system and software to manage all of the assets before coming to join UpKeep. So we got to make you make the switch.
Yeah, definitely.
Jimmy, how did you get into IT? How did you get into this field? It's I would say kind of like a niche field.
I would say I would credit it to my dad. He is a database administrator. Growing up, he basically taught me how to build my first computer, and then always was really interested in technology, especially kind of enabling people with technology as well as helping people with technology. So that's kind of how I stumbled upon the field of IT.
You've been obviously in this field for a couple of years. How did you first find out about UpKeep, and ultimately what made you want to join the team?
To be honest with you, stumbled upon a job posting, and it very much aligned with kind of what I was doing previously. So shouts out to Tyler for the job description. And kind of the reason why I joined UpKeep was, knowing that we just closed Series B and we're fast growing company that was kind of missing IT department as well as business function. So having the opportunity to come in and, lean my expertise on kind of that area and building that out is what made me want to join the team. And then, yeah, everyone that I spoke with, really aligned in that sense.
I actually think the role of IT has changed quite a bit. And I'd love to pick your brain about that. Since COVID and now this remote workforce, I'd imagine like the role of an IT manager has probably shifted and changed quite a bit. How has like this role of IT asset management kind of changed in like this post-COVID world? Or maybe let's call it in a remote world.
I think a lot of times when the traditional IT team and things like that when you were in the office, a lot of things were, breaking or a lot of break fix, right? Those things are still happening at the remote level. It's just how do you adapt to that environment? How do you, support the individuals with those issues from the hardware end as well as the software end? So kind of us being a SaaS company, I've seen kind of the shift between, when we are using or leveraging SaaS applications, a lot of times from an IT perspective, we're mostly just concerned about, who has access, who doesn't have access, things like that. When we're talking about onboarding, remote onboarding, from an IT side of things, looking at kind of automation pieces and things like that for kind of provisioning equipment, doing a direct ship to, a new hire, and then how do you handle offboarding as well? So I think the issues are still there from kind of the core IT side of things. It's just how do you really adjust to, a remote work environment? And I think a big piece of it is definitely an office, right?
Oh yeah. And Jimmy, just like a huge shout out to you, because I feel like, your role, it used to be managing like one home office and making sure that everyone is like, able to do their work effectively in this one home office. And largely for a lot of problems, they were kind of centralized to this office. But now with this like remote work, you're kind of like managing 140 separate offices. And it's kind of called, your home, my home, and everyone else's home. And I imagine that that's probably been a big shift. And probably a lot more work as well. So thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, definitely unique challenges for sure in this environment.
Jimmy, what's a project that you've been working on that you're really proud of, or a project that you've already completed that you look back on and say, man, that was difficult, but I'm really glad that I did that because it made a big impact.
Yeah, definitely. I would say implementing single sign-on from the organizational level for a lot of our SaaS applications that we use here was definitely a huge win for us. How I really view that is it's a win for the end user, where end user, as in everyone here at UpKeep, where you only need to remember one username and password for anything that you would need access to. We're not 100% there as far as integrating everything into Okta, but we have a lot of our core apps in there. And then kind of from the security and compliance end of things, having everything kind of centralized there helps with knowing who has access to what applications. And then when it comes to onboarding and offboarding, being able to kind of provision accounts as well as deprovision accounts really quickly. And, I think there's a phase 2 to this where there's the automation piece as well, where instead of having an individual create accounts in these certain applications, there is an engine that will essentially automate that piece.
Big shout out to you, Jimmy, for doing that. Obviously, it's not an easy project by any means. For me, it's even hard to remember my one password, but still working on it.
Yeah.
But seriously, Jimmy, I'm really glad that we did do this because, to your point, it's going to help with security compliance. It's already helped out with ensuring that we have the right security framework so that even our customers trust us better with their data and their information. Exactly. So it's been, I would say, a win-win and a win even for our customers and our ability to sell to our customers as well.
Definitely.
Well, cool. Jimmy, what's something you've grown to like and love about UpKeep?
Not to sound cliche, but honestly, the people here, everyone that I've met has been very welcoming and everyone's very unique, but it's been, a really warm welcome. And I think what aligns with that is the enablement piece as well, kind of the trust that everyone that I've met has had in me for me to kind of deliver on what I bring to the table and things like that.
That's awesome. And obviously, Jimmy, you were hired during this whole COVID world. And now we're finally, it seems like, crossing our fingers, coming out of it, which has given us the opportunity to hang out a few times, play tennis. And even right now, sit in an office, just, you're about 2 doors down. So that's pretty awesome. Jimmy, thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Life at UpKeep. Really appreciate it. If anyone on the team wants to connect with me, shoot me a Slack, shoot me an email. I would love to talk with you all soon. Really appreciate it again, Jimmy. I will talk to you probably in about 2 minutes right after we end this conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for everything. Yep.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.